Hi, today we're making crispy chicken skins, lamb feta burgers, and lemon thyme chicken thighs. Hi, I'm Anita from KetogenicWoman.com, where I share keto and carnivore recipes and other cooking ideas. If you're new here, welcome. Please check out some of my other videos and consider subscribing. Welcome back to all the regular viewers. Okay, so I'm going to be making a couple of things today, part of my meal prep. So let's start with the lamb feta burgers because I want to get them in the oven, and then I will show you the crispy chicken skins. So what I have here, I saw this at the store the other day. I've never seen this before, or maybe I just wasn't looking, but it's a 1 pound package of lean ground lamb from Australia. And it is without antibiotics. It looks good. So I am going to make the recipe that I normally use ground turkey for. I'm going to make lamb feta burgers with some Greek seasoning, and I think they're going to be amazing. So let's get started. I'm going to cut this package open. So there's not much in this recipe. There's, well, obviously the meat here. Let me get it out of here. The package says 454 grams or 1 pound. Lamb is usually what I would have thought is a fatty meat, but this one, it says it's lean. It doesn't give a percentage on here, but I will provide macros, and then you can decide if you are okay with this on your protein sparing day. I will probably use it on mine because it looks really lean, but I will check the macros. So in this is also going to be some feta cheese. I've got 100 grams, which is about 3.5 ounces. I'm just going to crumble it first. It's easier to crumble it before you put it in. I bought it in came in kind of a solid chunk. And I find stabbing the chunks with the fork works pretty well. Because it is really firm. And in the past, when I've tried to crumble it after mixing it with the meat, I get too big of chunks. I might even have to get in there with my fingers and do some crumbling. Okay. There's my oven. I'm going to put these in my air fryer, but I could put them in the oven if I wanted to. Just gonna break up a couple more of these big chunks. And I want to put in a tablespoon. This is a Greek spice. It's a package I got at the butcher. It's all in Greek. So other than the word spice mix, I accidentally threw away the card, so I can't show you. But I'm going to put in a tablespoon of the Greek spices. It does, on the back, it does show some pictures. It does contain ginger, star anise, mint, cloves, looks like lavender. And that's it. Okay, so I'm going to mix that in.
Oh, my egg white.
So you can put in 1 egg, or the equivalent is 3 tablespoons of egg white. That equals 1 egg. And that's what I'm opting for, since I want to try to put this on a protein sparing day. You can also make this in a loaf. I actually like this in a loaf. Actually, maybe I'll do that. Now that I've said it, I want a loaf.
Change of plans, right on the fly here. Why not?
Now, the feta cheese is quite salty, so you don't really need to add any salt. But you could. I usually wait till after, because I'm just never really sure how salty it's going to be. All right, so I'm going to use, the reason I like doing a loaf, and I got this from Kate in the Facebook group, that we are all in together. This one has a lifter, and what you can do with the juices is whiz them up after in a little blender and make gravy. And just as I was telling you that I was going to put this in the air fryer, I remembered I want gravy. So in the loaf it goes. Now normally I would have made, I would have doubled it in this loaf pan, but it's okay. We're just gonna have a small loaf. Okay, I am going to put this in the oven since the oven is ready for the other thing anyways, and then we'll start on the chicken. So I estimate this would be about 40 minutes at 350. You could, I'm gonna check it, in 30 minutes or so. I always do that, but it's going in now. All right, now I'm going to start on the chicken. So what I'm going to be making is chicken thighs, lemon thyme, but first I'm going to take the skin off and roast the skin in that same oven. So I'm just going to do that now. This will blow your mind when you try this. It is so tasty. I have 1.5 pounds of thighs here, or I think 6 thighs. So what I'll do is when I put the macros down below, I will make the macros per thigh. If any of you are watching and you are from my area, which is in Western British Columbia, I'm in the Fraser Valley, if you happen to know any butchers or places that sell chicken skin, like I've heard you can buy bags of chicken skin for pretty cheap, please let me know. There's a lot of collagen in chicken skin. It's really good for you, even though our mothers probably told us to throw it away. I don't do that. I eat it. It's so good, especially when it has the seasoning on it that I'm going to put on it. Just going to wash my hands. You can put whatever seasoning you want on here, but my favorite is tahini. This tastes absolutely amazing on chicken skins. And don't put just a little bit less than what you think, because the chicken skin is going to get smaller. It'll contract, and it'll be then more seasoned than what you imagined it would be. Although I love this stuff, it wouldn't matter. There. So and these don't take long because they're so thin. But this is basically what I do. I just take the skin off, spread it out in one layer. Be nice if there was a few more, but because I will eat this in like 2 seconds. Just check it every few minutes. I think it takes 10 or 15 minutes to get it crunchy. So I'm going to put it in with the meatloaf. Now on to our chicken thighs. The lemon thyme chicken thighs are going to be for protein sparing. I'm going to just take off any excess fat and put that down here. We want these to be fairly lean. And these will be tender. These are so good. I love making chicken thighs this way for protein sparing. I mean, normally I would leave the skin on. And obviously those skins I'm making there, those are for a keto day. But this is for a protein sparing day. I have 2 of those days coming up this week. And I will be happy to have this chicken on those days. I probably should have just got a cutting board and cut it off. I mean, you can also put the pieces of fat on that thing there and make schmaltz, which is a lovely word. I love that word, schmaltz, which is chicken fat. That's what the Germans call it. All right, I'm going to make my seasoning for this. I have fresh thyme and lemon. Okay, so what's going in here is fresh thyme, lemon zest, and the juice of lemon, some Redmond's real salt, and some garlic powder. I'm going to take some of the thyme leaves. What I'm doing here is I'm just peeling off some of the little thyme leaves. If you want, and what I usually do, but I just can't seem to find my bag of dried thyme, is I usually make the seasoning with dried thyme, 1 teaspoon, and then it'll be 1 teaspoon of the garlic, and it will be a little bit of salt, like maybe half a teaspoon of salt. And then I put some sprigs of fresh thyme into the actual Instant Pot with these. Did I mention these were going to be in the Instant Pot? I don't think I did. They take 5 minutes to cook, plus 10 minutes to release. Okay, so that's probably good enough there. Okay, I'm going to put in half a teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and I'm going to zest this lemon. Okay, well, some of it went over here. Okay. Just going to stir that up. It smells so good with the fresh thyme and the lemon zest. Oh my goodness. I think I might just put a little bit more thyme in. Okay. Right, so I'm just going to toss these things together like this. Just spread some of that goodness around. And then I'm going to grab my Instant Pot and get these things going. All right, so you just basically toss them so that everything's got a little bit of a coating. Okay, so I've got my Instant Pot here. Basically, this is going to cook on manual for 5 minutes, and then it will do a natural release for 10, and it'll be done. First, though, we are going to saute these. I have 1 tablespoon of duck fat here. You can use whatever you want. I just happen to have a container of duck fat in the fridge. So you could use olive oil, or you can use, whatever, butter, whatever you want. I'm going to start with this. I'm going to put this on saute and put my fat in there. It's not coming out. There we go. Duck fat is very, very soft. Even in the fridge, it's quite soft. I will be adding this little jar of chicken broth. You can use you could use water if you have some bone broth or chicken. This is just chicken broth that I happen to have left over from when I cooked some chicken the other day. So I thought I'd keep it for this. Then I'm also going to put in, once these have sauteed and browned a bit, I will be adding the chicken broth and the juice of this big juicy lemon. And then I will let the pot do its thing. Okay, I'm gonna throw one of these in there. It's not quite warm enough yet. You want it to be warm enough so that they start to sizzle. So it's heating up, but just not quite where I want it to be. I can hear it sizzling now. There we go. I'm just flipping these around to get them just a little bit browned on all sides. Just let that go for a minute. Oh, these do have, I thought these were boneless. These have bones in them. These are the ones I bought on my grocery haul the other day, and I will link that below. Okay, so now I'm going to add, I'll add this. That's my chicken broth. And I'm going to squeeze these lemons. Boy, these are big. I'm not even sure if it's going to fit in there. Get all that lemon juice in there. These chicken thighs are so good. All right, and I'm going to put these in. Infuse a little more flavor. I'm going to cancel this. Get my lid on. Make sure your lid is in the, or your little thing here is in the sealed position. And I'm going to cook it for 5 minutes. Okay, so that's going to take 5 minutes. Then I'm going to let it natural release for 10. And in the meantime, I'm going to go check on my chicken skins. Okay, so the Instant Pot is finished, and we're just going to let it count down for 10 minutes. That is what natural release is. We don't touch it for 10 minutes, let it release steam naturally. And then I will let the rest of the steam out, and we'll see what our chicken looks like. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to check how we're doing here. The chicken skins are done. And I'm just going to check the temperature of the lamb loaf. It needs a few more minutes. Here's the chicken skins. You can see how much they shrank. I mean, they almost took up the whole pan, but they do shrivel up a lot. So what I find is I let them dry on some paper towels or cool down, and then they will be crispy. They will harden up. Let them do that. There. And I will put. Now I did what you didn't see about halfway through the cooking time. I drained off the fat and put them back in. So those did take about 15 minutes to cook. Okay, so I tested the temperature of that. The internal temperature was almost 180. The package said to cook the lamb up at least 170, so it should be done. I'm going to let it cool a bit. I just wanted to show you if I can lift it out with these heavy gloves. Maybe not. Hang on. So what happens is the little holes on the bottom, all the juices go down there. And if we let it sit here for a few minutes, even more juices land in there. And then you can use that juice to whiz up into a little magic bullet or blender and, you know, add maybe a little bit of broth to it or whatever, and make some gravy for the meatloaf. So I will probably divide this into 8 pieces and calculate the macros that way for you, and put that down below. I'm going to give it a few minutes, and then we are going to cut that and give it a taste. I'm going to store the juices in this jar. That's why I have a jar here, so that when I'm ready to make the gravy, I will have it. So in the meantime, our Instant Pot is finished. We've allowed the steam to escape for 11 minutes. So I'm going to remove the lid. Okay, so first I'm going to, before I remove the lid, I'm going to see if there's any more steam in there. Nope. Now I can remove the lid. Oh, it smells amazing. Okay, wow. I need some tongs. Now what I did the last time I made these is I also saved this lemon thyme juice that's in here. I will pour that off into a jar, and it also makes an amazing gravy. In fact, I think I'm going to do something, I'm going to see if I can figure out how to thicken that gravy a bit, the lemony gravy, and mix it with some of the protein sparing noodles that I made the other day, because I have a whole container full in the fridge, and that would make a nice dinner. So if you haven't seen the protein sparing noodles yet, they are dairy free, and they were in my last video. I'll link that down below. And I think I'll keep the thyme in here. Okay, so I think it's time to test some of our creations here. Okay, so I'm going to try these things. Actually, have these cooled down yet? Yeah, these are good. All right, so first I'm going to try the chicken skins. They're amazing. I love that spice. So, I don't know, hopefully you could hear how crunchy that was. That is delicious. I'm going to try a piece of the chicken. I'll just keep this one out because I'll just make it part of my dinner tonight. I try to time this filming so that it's close to dinner time. They are so tender, and they're infused with that lemony flavor. I love these. I really love these. So that's that. Now, I do want to try meatloaf. I started out this video thinking I was going to make meatballs, but now I'm glad I made the meatloaf instead. I'm going to cut it into 8 slices. Don't know if I got that evenly or not. Probably close enough. This is going to be my dinner. Okay, let's see how we did there. This is the first time I've made this with lamb, but I love lamb. I mean, if you don't love lamb, this might not be your thing. Make it with turkey loaf or chicken, or sorry, ground turkey or brown chicken. That is really good. I absolutely love it. I love all 3 of these things. So I'm, excuse me while I go eat my dinner now. No. So yeah, so we made the chicken skins, the thighs, and the roast. These can be made as patties. I normally do make patties. So you would just put them in the oven, 8 or 9 patties, I think a pound makes. And yeah, just do what we did, except for put it in the oven, and probably 30 minutes or so. Just test it. I guess that's it for today. We are going to wrap up this video because I am hungry, smelling all this wonderful food. And oh, look at Teddy. Can you say goodbye, Teddy? Can you say goodbye? Do you want a little piece? Teddy will love this too. Nice warm lamb. There we go. Okay, have to give Teddy the taste tester. Taste tester Ted. Good job. Good job. Okay, everyone, I'm gonna go eat my dinner. I will see you next time.
It looks so nice out all of a sudden. red leaves there and everything. Hi, today we're making crispy chicken strings. Hi, today we're making crispy chicken... I can't say it. Hang on. What happened? Please hit subscribe. No, that sounds needy. Please hit subscribe. Nah, they don't know me yet. So tell me when I can start. And all of them... No, that's not true. I was going to say, forget that.